Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my new what if that was commented by Blueberry. What if Tanjiro was born early with Demon Slayer mark, Breath of the Sun? And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. In 1881, in Japan, there was a young boy that was born to Tanjiro Komodo, and his father named him nearly almost similar to his name, Tanjiro, and their family lived in Okatoma town and lives on Mount Ratomo, and they were living as a happy family until Toro Komodo saw the Slayer mark that he had when he was born and smiles at it and gives out a sigh and tells his wife that he has the same Slayer mark that I have when I was young. And then his wife was very worried that Tanjiro, their son, would be in trouble of controlling the Slayer mark. And Tanjiro said, no, he's fine, but even if he doesn't control it, he can maintain it for periods of time. And Tanjiro said, I'll train on controlling and breathing. He can choose to be a Demon Slayer, but I won't force him on putting that on that title on him. It's his own choice, not mine. He can train others on the next generation on sun breathing. And his wife then smiles and says, alright, giving a somewhat worried but trusting look on Tanjiro. And then when Tanjiro was at the age of 6, his father trained him on the sun breathing, and he tells his son to keep your breathing steady and don't make it too life-threatening. And Tanjiro says, right! And then he keeps slowly but swinging the sword, making sure to not use excessive body heat to increase the mark. And Tanjiro then remarks, good job, keep on the steady pacing. And Tanjiro then says, hi! And Tanjiro then goes to his wife and sees their other child was born. And Nezuko was born. And Tanjiro then says, father, is it time to be done? And Tanjiro then smiles and says to Tanjiro, yes, you did well. Come see your sister. And Tanjiro then goes to see sister and was happy to see his little sister born and seeing her cute face and was happy. And then Tanjiro smiles at his son and looking at Tanjiro, and Tanjiro says, so how's my training coming? And Tanjiro says, your scar has grown a bit, but not as rapidly. That is a good sign. Then when he was going to speak something else, his father coughs, and Tanjiro says, father, are you okay? And his father says, yes, Tanjiro, it's just age. And Tanjiro was worried a bit on his father, but he will make it work with his sun breathing style, Hino Kami Kagura. And 6 more years have passed. Tanjiro turned 12 and was getting better and nearly mastering the styles of Hinokami Kagura of his father's fighting style. And Tanjiro then goes to check on his father and giving him some water and some of his meals. And his father then says, oh, thanks, Tanjiro. And Tanjiro then looks at his father I see your scar is getting a little bigger. And Tanjiro, then his father says, yes, it's a bit excessive heat on the body that grows. And then his father also says, yours is getting bigger as well, huh? And then he gives him the water to show his reflection. Seriously? How can that happen? I haven't used excessive heat. And then his father then tells him, the scar, the mark, that it grows by heat, excessive, and it's not, it'll eat your age up. And then Tanjiro says, seriously? Isn't that a... And his father then remarks, yes, but it's not too bad. But you can get mass of strength, but it does leave you on the mark of using how much your age is getting eaten. And Tanjiro then says, alright, I'll keep working harder. And his father smiles and says, why don't you go play with your siblings and take a relax? Tanjiro says, yeah, I almost forgot. And his father then looks at his water and then smiles and says, age can get the best on everyone, but it doesn't mean it can destroy. And then at the age of Tanjiro has turned 13 in 1894, and his father was happy on seeing Tanjiro's progress in his sword fighting on the Hinokawa Chronicles of Martial Arts, the sun breathing. And then he says to his son, Tanjiro, I want to talk to you. With a graceful smile and it's time to have a talk. And Tanjiro then follows his father, and they both talk and sit on their table. And Tanjiro then says, what's the matter, father? And his father then says, Tanjiro, you are now a very capable fighter in the sun breathing. And Tanjiro says, yes, why are you talking to me like formalities? And his father then says, you're now a swordsman, a very skilled, you can fight demons, but you need to go to a very place to be granted on being a demon slayer. And Tanjiro was confused. Demons only? And then his father says, I was going to tell you about it when you were done with your training. And Tanjiro then looks at his father with a confused look when you finally have control over that scar. And then Tanjiro then slowly picks out what he's saying. I don't want you to go do the Demon Slayer Corps, but you can choose. I retired as a Demon Slayer because of my weakened age, but you can choose to go or not to. It's your choice. With a smile up on his father's face, and Tanjiro then thinks, I never slayed a demon before. And then his father nods at him and says, oh. And then Tanjiro and his father go. Tanjiro's father then takes him in the middle of the night and says, shh, demons have been wandering in the door. He can't be in the sunlight because of how they would die from it. And Tanjiro was learning from his father, and then his father then says the only way to kill a demon were only by beheading them, or using a other fragrant, by using a very spider lily to make sure they kill them. It repels them, or you can use a certain type of poison. And Tanjiro is amazed on how they can deal with different types of Oni like that. And then they hear something. Tanjiro. And his father then gets him down and hides and says, "Now, you gotta do this quick. I'll step in if it's too rough for you." And Tanjiro sees the Oni, and he slowly but steadily walks towards it and takes a deep breath. And the Oni is looking around, sniffing for human. But when he smells that human flesh, blood, a male, and it was behind him, Tanjiro then slashes down with a quick attack. And the first strike was first attack, Raging Sun, slashing down on the Oni's neck with a quick attack. And the Oni's head felt the inferno coming out of his head. Was chopped off. And Tanjiro then looks at the Oni and says, "Sorry." And the Oni was just surprised on that attack. He didn't have any time to react. And his father was happy that Tanjiro took down that Oni really quick, with no hesitation on that. And Tanjiro says, "I feel bad about this, but if I can save many more and keep you guys safe, I'll do it. I'll be a demon slayer." And his father then says, "I hope you can find the way under the sword of the night." And Tanjiro then gets packed up and gets ready for his journey to become a demon slayer. And his father and all of his siblings and his mother give him a hug and say, "Be careful." And Tanjiro then gives out a smile and said, "Don't worry, because I'll be safe and make sure I'll get back. That's a promise." And all of his family were very happy, but also worried about him. And his father and smiles at Tanjiro, says, "Be careful, my son." And Tanjiro was going to the Demon Slayer Corps and was getting ready to get accepted and become one. He waits on the others. He sees different people from different places with swords, different look to them. And Tanjiro then looks at his sword. They're all different and smell unique to them. And he smells the others as well, by accident. And he also sees two girls, woman that was then introducing them on the training. And then she tells them about the forest and how they are gonna go. And then the night began. Tanjiro was smelling his way on finding his and getting through, but then he hears somebody screaming, and another, and another. Tanjiro then is wondering what is going on. I know this is a demon scent, but I never thought it's like this. Then he hears three other people, and Tanjiro then goes to them, following the trail of the scent, and then he sees a blue hair, dark color boy with blue eyes, with pink hair guy with a fox mask beside him, and little girl that were taking on a very big Oni. And Tanjiro sees them losing pretty bad, and one of the attacks were taking out the girl with the Konoichi style, and then he sees it targeting the two of them, and Tanjiro then takes a deep breath and then feels his scar warming up, and then does his move, Hinokami Kagura Sun Rush, and he blazes through like a blaze of fire and sees the Oni gonna take one of them out, and then slashes one of the Oni's arms. And the Oni says, "Ugh, burns like the sun. Looks like I got another demon slayer to deal with." And then Tanjiro says, "Are you okay?" And two of the demon slayers remark, "Yes, but get away. It's going to be dangerous." And Tanjiro then says, "It's okay. 3 of us. I can take him out with this." And the Oni was pissed on that statement. "Well, we'll see how you die, brat!" And then Tanjiro cuts down all the attacks with his blades. Sunblaze, cut! And doing as swift as fiery passion. And two of the swordsmen see that. And then says, "Gyo, we need to help him as well." And then Gyo says, "Sabato, right." And they both help Tanjiro in dealing with the Oni that took down their members. It says, "War style, water saw." And Sabato slashing down as a saw of water. And Gyu then slashes like a rapid water. And Tanjiro then takes another deep breath. Second style, blazing sun, slash, making 2 slashes as a mere second. Grrr, this is so annoying. Feel the injuries coming in and need to take care of that brat. But first, spikes come through and going to attack one of the water demon slayers. And Tanjiro then gets one of them out. And then says, "Are you okay?" And Gyo says, "Yes, but we need to." Then they see Gyu. "Sato!" And then they see him impaled, destroyed. And Tanjiro gets angry. And the Oni says,
"Oh, looks like your little buddy has died on ya."
"Oh, humiliating." And Tanjiro says, "No, this is Oni," and says, and then Tanjiro then says, "11th style, setting sun transformation," and slashing the Oni's head, and says, "May you rest in peace." And the Oni's head got pissed and then disappears. And Gyu then says, "Sato, Sato!" looking at him and coming towards him. And Tanjiro then says, "I'm sorry that it happened. I didn't mean to." And Gyu then says, "Don't worry, it's just the Slayer's job." And Tanjiro says, "You're sad. I can smell. I am sorry for what happened. But come on, I'll lead the way." And Gyu says, let's make a rest in place for him." And Gyu and Tanjiro made a rest in peace place for Sato's body. And then pray to God. And then both Tanjiro and Gyu go back and they survived the night and see the sun. And they become the new demon slayers. And Tanjiro and Gyu were walking together, becoming Tanjiro trying to get Gyu a bit more happy on his state footing, but Gyu was in a depressed state. And Tanjiro says, let's go to a medical place, okay?" And Tanjiro and Gyu were going to the place, and then Tanjiro then opens the door and says, "Hello? Anybody in there?" And then a little girl that had a flower on a ponytail then flips a coin and then answers them. "Yes, it's here on the Demon Slayer's medical training ground." And Tanjiro then says, yes, it is nice to see you. Who are you? And she speaks, my name is Kanawa. Tanjiro says, that is a beautiful name, and you look so cute. Is the trainer or anybody here? And then Kanawa says, my sister is here. And then when she said that, a girl says, Kanawa, where are you? And she walks and sees Kanawa with 2 demon slayers. And the girl says, oh, you must be new demon slayers, right? And Tanjiro says, yes, we are here, new demon slayers. This is cute. We need a little rest and train a bit. And then girl says, oh, and your name? Oh, right, silly me. My name is Tanjiro Kamado. And your name? Name's Shinobu. And then Tanjiro says, Shinobu, that's a interesting name. And then Shinobu shows them around. And Tanjiro says, wow, I never been here. I've been in the district and I never seen this place. And Shinobu then says, it's something that all demon slayers have to take or rest up and feel better getting trained. And Shinobu then smiles. Gyo then says, well, it's interesting, but I'm gonna train somewhere. And Tanjiro says, okay. And Shinobu says, my, your little friend there was gloomy. And Tanjiro says, yeah. What the? This smell. And then Shinobu says, alright, after that, I'll be going. And Tanjiro then says, Miss Shinobu, are you angry? And Shinobu then was surprised on that statement. Angry? No, I'm not angry. And Tanjiro then says, I can smell. Are you hiding it? And Shinobu then says, you can smell? Of course, smell is more reliable than Shinobu then covers his mouth and says, so it's like a dog, right? With a straight face. And Tanjiro says, yeah, I was gonna say, why are you angry? Did we offend you? And Shinobu then says, no, it's not that. Did you see Kanawa's butterfly? And Tanjiro says, yes, it looks beautiful on her. And then Shinobu says, thank you on that compliment on her, but there's more to that butterfly. And Tanjiro then says, huh? You're sad. And Shinobu then says, yes, that was my sister's butterfly. And Tanjiro says, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get you sad about it. And Shinobu says, no, it's fine. She smiles, and Tanjiro says, you're lying again. And Shinobu says, yeah, can you imagine somebody that you care really love about die? Then Tanjiro then hugs Shinobu on saying that, of course, I care about my family. I wanted to protect them if I came back. And Shinobu then smiles and says, well, that's good then. She then gives a grateful smile and says, do well on your training and do your absolute best. And Tanjiro then sees Shinobu then leaving, and he then smells. She seems so happy. I guess I said something great. Alright, let's train. And Shinobu then was in her room and feels her heart pounding. What a lady killer. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time.